Well, hello, coaches. Welcome back. Coach KW here again for another video. I hope you're all well. It's been an exciting month or so. I just finished my D course, and just the other day got my official license. Ta-da! So very proud of that. Lots of work. It was a great course. I hope to do a video on the process a little bit later when I've had a couple of weeks after the fact to reflect on it. But all in all, a great experience with some fantastic coaches that I got to meet from around my state. So that was a lot of fun. Today I'm going to do a video in the type that I haven't done in a while, and that's a kind of a drill video. I saw a drill from my internet friend, the Rondo Coach. He has a great YouTube channel, which I will link down below. And he had a passing warm-up session that he posted. And so I'm going to show basically a little bit of that session in real with players and what we did with it and what we're probably going to now use as part of our warm-up routines before games. We took it yesterday with a practice. I had 6 or 7 players show up, and then today we had 10, plus my eldest was able to come to practice as well and kind of expand it, and it really went well. So I'm going to show you the 3 phases we took this drill. We actually played it for a good 15 minutes, and the boys just were active and kept going with it. I kept looking at my watch thinking I should stop it because they're going to start slowing down, and they really didn't. They really started to enjoy it and the challenge of it. So let's take a look at that now. All right, so you can see here, you might be able to hear how windy it is when I lay in the audio, but 10 players showed up tonight, so put 5 of them in red pennies with 5 balls and 5 players without pennies. And the first set of instructions here is basically just red player, find a non-pennied player, pass the ball, and they'll find another one. So you can't pass the same non-pennied player in a row. So this is a great sort of just welcome sort of warm-up. You can see they're just getting started. They just arrived to practice. It's kind of cold out. It's incredibly windy. You can see the camera on the tripod shaking. You can also see as we go along this video where the camera is versus where it ends up because the wind was blowing so hard. It was actually rotating the camera a little bit on the top because it wasn't super tight. So you can see got short and long passes going on. Nothing too complicated, but a great sort of activation. Technical practice. Some of them are taking a little bit more serious than other. My eldest son decides to jump in, and so it's a great example of when you have an odd number, you won't have the smaller number with the ball. So if there's 11 players here, including my eldest son there, then you would have 5 players with the ball, so there's always an extra option to find with the pass. But basically, they're just kind of starting to get into it, being a little bit goofy, but that's okay. But you can hear in the system audio, hopefully against the wind, you can hear them starting to call each other's names, which is what we want to, is a little contact. We want a little communication here. You can see them trying some different things, some different touches. So great warm-up. We'll just let this run for a couple more minutes. Okay, so now a couple of minutes in, now we're going to change the option up. So the option here now is they play to a red player, and now they have to go find a new ball. So the red player is going to play a ball to a non-pennied player, and then when they play the ball back, they can't get the ball back from the person they gave it to. So now they have to go in search of a new partner. So red player plays it to a non-penny and now has to go find somebody else to get a ball back. You can see there down in the bottom left-hand corner there, player got 2 balls past him at the same time because somebody wasn't listening. So again, just as the start of this sort of version starts, it's taking them a little bit to figure it out, even though half of them did it the night before. But as we see as they go on, it'll actually start to get better and better. I'll mention again, these are 5th grade boys. They're practicing different passing techniques. Some of them are doing some different turns and dribbles. So really a great warm-up, a great technical activation. Again, we've been at it for about 2 minutes, and now they're going to start with this, and we'll let this run for another for the 5 minutes. We'll let this go for a few more minutes. But you can hear a few more names being called because now they have to go get a new passer, a new, once they've passed the ball, they can't get it back from the same person. So now it's a little bit more communication happening. The balls are moving around. So you can imagine it's a pretty chaotic environment. You can see there are balls passing through all over the place. There are players all over the place. They're picking out passes. It's not always perfect, but, you know, that's why they're here. They're learning. But we'll watch this for a few more minutes. Okay, and lastly, and this was from one of my players' ideas from the night before when we were doing this with smaller numbers. Now it was, can we play it and pass it to anybody? I said, sure. So gave them a little agency, let them decide how things are going. So now it's you can play and pass to anybody. You just can't get the ball back from the same person. So it's the same restriction, being able to find a new partner every time the ball goes. So now we're going to let this run a good 8 minutes. They play this because they really, as they started to get into it, they really started to achieve, and they were not slowing down, which is what I thought might happen. But in fact, you can see right now it's a little sloppy. They're still not quite there, but all of a sudden they kind of snap into it. Now we're at practice for a good 5 or 6 minutes now. So they're just starting to get their heads into the game. But we'll take a listen and watch as they go. You can see here we've skipped ahead a little bit. So now it's moving a little bit quicker now. There's different size spacing. We're getting a little bigger. Some are longer, some are shorter, but we're starting to get warmed up. We're calling different names out. You can see the balls are zipping around. A lot more voices, a lot more calls for the ball, a lot more communication. Got some long ball, we got some short ball. We still have some confusion as to who is supposed to be kicking to whom because sometimes they're not all listening. Unfortunately, you can't see some of the one player I think is parked a little bit to the left of the screen there, so can't see the one more player there. But like I said, the camera started to drift literally because the wind was blowing so hard. You can see now, we can see way more of the right part of the net than we could before. But you can see moving around, and they really were enjoying this. Like I said, we let this phase go about 8 minutes because they just didn't slow down. They actually kept going and started to get better. You see a couple of different turns, a couple of different touches. People are moving around. All right, so you saw that last example. Very chaotic, very random, but really, really good. It's really activating their brains, activating their mental ability to look for passes, scan for passes, communicate with their teammates, call for the ball, demand the ball, make those first touches, try all sorts of different passing techniques, short, medium, long, trying different sorts of touches, first touch, second touch, dribble out. A really good activation exercise, but also a really good technical training exercise. We had half as many balls as players, but everybody was involved. They all were working on technical skills along with sort of that tactical moving around in space, finding spaces. Really, really simple exercise that really activated so many different technical components of the game. So I hope you found this enjoyable. Really go check out my internet friend Rondo Coach's website and YouTube page because he's got lots and lots of different drills out there. I think some of them are fantastic. Drills and drill design is still something I struggle with, so it's great to be able to find a great resource out there, whereas I am a little bit better on the bigger picture tactical things, so it's great to be able to combine the two. So if you have any other great examples out there of some of these sorts of things or resources, I'd love to see them in the comments. But other than that, thanks so much. Hope you're having a great start to your season. I'll see you real soon on the fields. Bye-bye.